What kind of comparison would you make between the Nigerian farmers of the 60s, 70s, and the one that we have today? Because if you say that in those years we had a booming economy that would rely on agriculture, today, our economy is no longer booming as it were, Even though there is a lot of money, but this money is not really flowing into the people. It's just uh, flowing into few individual because of the, but it's coming from a very few source, coming from very limited source, like crude oil. And this is highly controlled as it were. So this one doesn't create a lot of wealth. How wealth can be created is when a lot of people have access to money, even though it might not be little money, but a lot of people should have access because they are the people that buy. If I am extremely rich, how much food can I buy? In that sense, how do you compare the farmers of the 70, 60, and the farmers of today?
That's a very interesting question. The farmers of today, well, the farmers of today, they have more opportunities than the farmers of the, like we have gamification. We can even use gamification, to encourage or to train or to build capacity, for the farmers and not just, um, just to go to them all the time, like in their fortnight visit, like the extension agents normally go to them and, or invite the farmers from the rural place. And you also have to transport them, take care of them in such a way because they are smallholder farmers and they are, crude, when some of them that still use crude implements to, to cultivate, like even in the time of old, now they're using tractors to do some of those operations. We have lending companies and organizations that can also lease their tractors and even the coupled implements like the Dix plow, the Dix ridger, the Dix harvester, well, that's all in crop farming. These are minimal contributions that it has to so the farmers of today, they are for them to tackle food insecurity, they have a lot on their neck to handle. They have a lot of yeah they have a lot with respect to trying to also scale up for the smallholder farmers to scale up from that subsistence type of scope of production to getting more into building up commercialization or being more to producing for the on a large scale basis. So and then we the farmers of today, they can also commit more of their time and energy to build cooperative in such a way that they can they are open more to crowd farming initiatives and integrated farming systems and like more like even organic farming as well, where it's an ecosystem which nothing is wasted. You can actually practice it with crops, livestock, and choose them and select them, and there's like a compatibility, like compatibility in bringing in the resources from the crops, the livestock, the forestry, even fisheries as well, and then of course ensuring that nothing is wasted and that there is efficiency and effectiveness and also a very good productivity in the ecosystem. Yeah.
Oh, right. All right. That is good. All these are a lot of opportunity that the farmers of today have compared to the farmers of yesterday. Okay, we are looking at the Nigerian farmer to be specific, of the 60s and the 70s. And we are saying, taking your word for it, that the 60s and the 70s, there was the Nigerian agriculture was performing better. But we are now also seeing that the farmers of today have access to more resources in terms of technology to be able to farm even better. But today, Nigeria is suffering from food. Somebody might want to ask, how come that now that the farmer having access to more resources and more possibility of producing food for more people. Now we are suffering from food. We don't have food. Nigeria is dominated by importation of food. What would you say to that?
I forgot to, when I was mentioning, not really that I forgot, but I know that we have so many opportunities, especially which the farmers can also cash in on. Yes, I mentioned about the advent of technology and fourth industrial revolution, but I didn't go in detail. I didn't even mention about biotechnology, which you had all, which I think you had mentioned that earlier, artificial intelligence and the GIS, GP. You mentioned about knowledge sharing. The farmers of today, they have, very great opportunity for knowledge sharing, sharing across from one, area of the world to another. So it's now like a global village. Now it's like a global village in the sense that, we have, the farmers of today have more, opportunities, to, overcome the climate change issues, which, is, a debilitating, will I call it, it's a debilitating disease, very, very challenging for the farmers. And then they have also the opportunity to practice more protected farmings, more, protected farming. We have the greenhouse, we have the greenhouses which can be set up to grow. And we have also the vertical farming initiatives trying to grow crops, horticultural and organic crops in places where there are not enough land. So the farmers of this century, they are open to all of that. And these are very, very, very great opportunities, which has, like, one can run away from, pest and disease infestations, which they have always had, even the storage issues, and trying to make sure that we can use, biological, ways which are bio-friendly, bioeconomic initiative. And of course, they all have aspects of biodiversity, which will, leave the ecosystem also not having the challenge. So now, coming back to answering your question, can I say that Nigeria's economy will excel through agriculture by looking at, I had mentioned about policy. We need to look at, contemporary policy and strong political will. The days of policy making, the days of policy making in agriculture are almost gone. And before, we had streams of agricultural programs and projects, especially during the military regimes. These have all, days of political will. How Nigeria has suffered. Well, let me use that language, suffered in the hands of politicians. And, if I am allowed to say that, we are lacking the right policies in place. So, that's also the way that, what we have to look at. Then we need to harness value chains. We need to, identify the food and agricultural value chains. Of course, when the government speaks of agriculture, reference is always made about the consumption of fresh food, fresh, agricultural products by the people, be it in the livestock or in the crop or any other, aspect. Now, with its, teeming population, harnessing the value chain in agriculture can be a remedy to the staggering unemployment rate and crime rate also. In Nigeria, we need to harness them. Even when you look at the developed countries, you will see that their value chains are very well identified. They are very well, channeled and positioned in such a way that, it will be very difficult to break the structure of these value chains. and with also the players, those who play, and the issue of data, the issue of having the documentation, having a database of our farmers, so that we can also see how to provide intervention to them. So, what of modernization of the sector? The research institute and institutions of learning uh, relating to agriculture has to be modernized if the mainstream population must be enjoying food security. Also, what of budgeting? The agriculture sector needs more funding if more, more attention has to be given. Of course, if we must make profits, if we must, be more productive with any aspect of the agriculture or the value chain or the distributive channel, and then of course what will it lead to? It will lead to more specialization. It will lead to more development. It will lead to more growth in the diverse for the stakeholders and the key players in the sectors. Thank you.
All right, now we are in Nigeria the way it is currently. We have looked at what has happened in the past and what probably we can learn from it to see that we are not really starting from zero. We have been successful before in the past in terms of agricultural production. The entire economy has actually been sustained by it. So if we are not doing it today, not because we haven't done it before, it's because we just haven't put in the right policies in place to be able to empower people to do it. So we must understand that from this point of view. All right, now we can say that the government have even failed us. That is what a lot of Nigerians are claiming today. But have we Nigerians failed ourselves in that in terms of food production and distribution in the country? Say maybe, for example, if the government have even failed us, is there not something that we can do so that we don't fail ourselves?
Personally, I am not saying that the government has failed, but yes, you can say that. We are also allowed to say that. But yes, we have room for private investors and the non-governmental organizations. And, of course, they have always been playing as great roles. And even for Nigerians in diaspora, they are abroad and they, of course, we know how they have all been playing roles in one way or the other. For example, I know that Nigerians in diaspora, they are working with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and with the International Organization for Migration to see how to develop some of the dilapidated projects of the Nigerian government, which like even the food crop production transfer technology station at Ubiaja and many other stations, even the Federal College of Agriculture at Ishiagu. And we know of the National Root Crop Research Institute at Umodike. We know even all the Cocoa Research Institutes at Ibadan. We know the NIFO. We know the RAIN. I visited RAIN, Rubber Research Institute of Nigeria, the other day in Edo State, and I was very, very, broken. I was really broken because I saw that the project is not receiving attention at all. So, these Nigerians in diaspora, they are also pushing, private investors are pushing to see how these projects that have over time contributed to driving transformation in the economy can be resuscitated. And then we have to drive away corruption. We have to see ways of developing frameworks on how to make sure that every player, everyone who is playing one role or the other is also compensated. And so that there is no people who are working and not taking advantage of, and they are not being paid what they are supposed to be paid. And then also we need to find ways of also finding a structure for, employment. There are many young people who are supposed to be brought in, who are supposed to be mentored, who are supposed to be, trained in such a way, and so that they will build capacity. Like one of the projects that I am the diaspora expert in, I have also tried, like I'm developing a strategy on how to, build up capacity of those ones that I can tell you, I am even, much younger than most of them that have worked there. They have been working there even far before, maybe when I was a toddler, they started to work there. So, and I also have to come up with, a way, an approach to see how I can also contribute to, driving transition. Some of them, they have, equipment, implements, which are also aligned with the fourth industrial revolution, but they are not using it like they use it once in a while because there's no power, there's no electricity. So how, in such situation, how will you now encourage them? And when they have students also, and we have some of our students from tertiary institutions that come for their IT, their farm work, and this all of these are very, very very challenging.